Well, let's see where all this goes to. All right. That's the measuring pipe that Joe Franks put in. That's sort of the marsh, the Everglades that I call it, straddles that bush. See the bush, the Everglades are getting a little bit wider here, but nothing coming up this way. This is all dry and high ground. And then this is narrowing now. It doesn't go into the top of the aspen where the skunk cabbage is. It's a very narrow footprint now. I'm on a cow trail. Let me turn around here. That's the bush that the Everglades straddled. And then it actually comes here between the skunk cabbage down here. I don't think it's going in there. It's quite wet right here on this side of the fence. Here's the other pipe that Joe Franks put in. Our house is back up there. The spring there. Coming down here, it looks like it's dry in there. Clearly, this is runoff. You know, could not be confused as a spring. Again, it's still on this side of the fence. There's the mule barn. Now, I don't know the designation of the fence, okay? But now the stream is quite concentrated. Heading down to the mule barn. We're towards the bottom of the aspen, and if anything, the aspen is kind of a V-shaped groove, a V-shaped grove, I should say. Up at our end, it's almost flat, an east-west line, and then it trails down in this gully coming out of the aspen. Here's the water, which never went into the aspen, stayed over there on that side, the west side. There's a creek. I'm separating myself from it a little bit. And because of the lay of the land, whatever water is happening goes over this way. It's like some kind of a water tub. And then it might head over towards the mule barn. That's high ground. And this is the very bottom of the aspen. My guess is that this is probably what he thinks is a spring. Let me back up. This is marshy right here. I can't back up. Okay, this is the outfall from the west side of the trees, right there. And this is a V groove going into the aspen, or a swale, if you will, going into the V part of the aspen. Boy, that is damp, but not wet. A little bit of moss. And damp mud at this dry, thorny tree. Not quite a thorny tree. Hummingbird in there. I'm going into the V part of the grove. falling down. That's wet. This is wet. God. Damp. Wet. Puddle right here. Can we see this? Wet feet. Puddle in the middle of the aspen, and this would not be from us in an obvious way, okay? I'm working my way into the aspen. There's our house. And this is starting to go uphill now quite abruptly, and drying a little bit muddy underfoot. Can't get there. Hang on. I'm headed east, now north. I'm in the heart of the aspen. And this is the start of a swale. In the heart of the aspen. The ground is moist. A little bit easterly. Out of the aspen. Our house, as you can see. This is the northeast corner of what I would call the Triangle of the Grove. The top, the east-west line is sort of level, and then here in the middle of the grove starts a depression. It goes down that way. The bottom of the V is out there. I'm headed west. I'm very much in the middle of the aspen, if you will. If you think of it as a V-shaped shield, like a Superman badge, I'm sort of in the middle of it, just a little bit high. He's cut some trees down. There's the depression in the lower part of the V, lower middle part of the V, and it goes out there. Water from our spring is over on that fence line. Again, this is sort of level in an east-west direction. Now I'm up towards the northwest corner of the V. I'm out of the V. There's a marker on that tree, our property line. Here's a marker, our property line. This would be the northwest corner of the V. Through the top of the V, going east, southeast, south. And our water doesn't start, more orange markers, doesn't start till here. That's the Everglades. Right here it's very narrow, about 6 feet wide, okay? And Joe Frank's pipe is down that way someplace, okay? None of our water is going over into there. There's a depression in the middle of the V that, if it were my money, I'd say there is kind of a spring there, or it's deep surface water that is breaking out at that point. Okay? For what it's worth, well, I can't say for what it's worth. I don't know. I think it looks like a spring, as I say, or subsurface that breaks the surface in that depression. If you thought of that as a plane and then there's a depression in the middle, it might be getting sort of a layer of water that's 15 feet below the surface. As Joe Frank said, it might be traveling on top of a layer of clay and coming out there. That's it.